Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share a bit about myself and my cycling journey and explain why I started making YouTube videos. My name is Noble and I've always loved physical activity and filmmaking. Growing up, I played a lot of sports. I went to boarding school overseas and I ended up playing football, rugby, track and field, hockey, like the field hockey, basketball, basically you name it, just any type of sport, anything that involved physical activities. I just loved it. I would sometimes stay at my friends' houses when I was out in boarding school because my parents were back in America, the States. And so I remember staying at my friend's house way back when I was like maybe 5 or 6. He lived in Portsmouth, England. There's a friend of mine, Miles Batty. He had a younger brother named Gavin Batty, and we would just go out riding. He'd take me out riding, and then they would just, they basically, those two little homies, bro, they taught me how to ride. Like, they just worked with me, and eventually I got on it without the training wheels, and I pedaled around the block. And it was a crazy memory that I have. It really, like, I remember the first time I rode that bike in Portsmouth, England with the Batty boys without training wheels. And it stuck with me all these years. But, you know, when I was back in America with my parents, you know, we would go to Toys R Us and get the cheapest bikes. That was a version of Walmart for us back in the day. It was Toys R Us. You get the cheapest bike with no gears, no maintenance. We didn't have no bike pump. We didn't have anything like that. So as a kid, my bikes were simply a means to explore beyond the block, you know, and get a taste of adventure. So it wasn't until like my 30s that I learned bikes could be like maintained, repaired, customized. And it wasn't until my 40s that I actually started to clean my bike regularly. Now this realization of, you know, the juxtaposition between my past of like having a no maintenance bike and now being kind of like really up on my maintenance made me realize the appreciation of a well-maintained bike that much more. It's just even that much more fun to ride. Even though, like, back in the day, I still had fun on those crappy bikes, I probably would have had even more fun if my parents or an adult was involved in helping me maintain my bike or teaching me any of those things. So the joy of riding a clean, well-maintained bike cannot be overstated. This channel is, I feel, about encouraging all types of cycling. To be honest, I don't like cars. So any type of bike that you ride is gonna be okay with me. Electric bikes, yeah, if it's not a car, awesome, love it. So I'm a lover, not a hater when it comes to bikes. I love all types of bikes. Every type of bike is cool, as long as you're not driving a car, you know. Now, I feel cars are necessary for capitalism. It's just one of the necessary evils. I have a car. I use it to drive for my business, but I really try to avoid driving it when I don't have to. If it's for recreational, picking up some groceries, doing some regular things around the town within 5 miles, I really like to ride my bike. And also, plus, parking is horrible. So trying to find parking, depending on where you live in the country, I'm in the Seattle area, parking sometimes can be just as bad as, or take just as long as the actual commute to get there, you know, especially in the summer when things get really popular. Now, a few months before we had our son, Dorian, I tore a ligament in my left ankle playing basketball, and I had to be in a boot for about 6 months. Now, during this time, I reached my heaviest weight, about 250 pounds. Even though I was okay with my appearance, like, I did not feel good. I felt sluggish. I felt stiff. Moving was tough. Going up and down stairs was tough, especially while I was holding my newborn at the time. You know, 7 months into Dorian's life, we had to move. We had to find a new place to move. Our land, the owner of the property decided that they wanted to take the house back, maybe update it, sell it, put it on the market, whatever. So we had to move. But it turned out to be a good thing. Even at the time, moving really is not fun. And when you have a kid that young, it's not the coolest thing to do to move. It kind of sucks. But it turned out that the place that we moved to was super close to the Burke-Gilman Trail, which is a super popular bike trail in Seattle, which goes a long distance. I don't know exactly the length of the Burke-Gilman, but it goes really, really far. And our neighborhood's kind of at the end of the Burke-Gilman, so it allows you access to bike riding. Plus, we had to share a garage at the other house. And at this house, we just have the garage to ourselves, and we have a door straight into the garage from our living space, which makes going on a ride so easy. Just boom, go out into the garage, open the garage door, and you're out on the Burke-Gilman Trail in such a fast time. And it has allowed me to go on just quick rides, 30-minute rides, 15-minute rides, rides to the market, which has allowed me to build up my stamina and has allowed me to shed over 30 pounds, which is pretty much the weight of a bike. It's a weight of a mountain bike, you know? So it's been amazing. I feel so much better. I can walk up and down the stairs. I'm not out of breath. I feel strong like when I was riding a bike back in the day.